Jonathan Ashley, Ingomar High School. I'm the boys basketball coach here. This is starting year 10 and overall year 21. When I graduated Ole Miss, my dad was coaching here at Ingomar and got a job assisting him. I'd kind of been helping him with that while I was at Ole Miss. So I spent my first 5 years here at Ingomar coaching junior high basketball, helping Dad with both high school teams. Then I went to Myrtle for 6 years and then came back to Ingomar when Dad retired. And so I've been the varsity boys coach here since 12, 13, I think. You know, we've been fairly successful. Had a lot of good players, a lot of community support from our administrative team here at Ingomar High School. Like I said, that's huge. It gives you an opportunity to do your job. Growing up here, and you know, it's still a special place. Glad that my kids get to go to school here. We're one of probably about 10 schools in the state of Mississippi that does not play football. So you know, our version of Friday Night Lights is going to be in the gym, and so you know, finally getting the ease of getting through the pandemic, and we were on the road at Hulk to open the season. A week ago Thursday, and we had probably as big a crowd as they had. And then Tuesday night at Hickory Flat, we had more than they had. Our community, thankfully, is still passionate about basketball, and it's great to be at a place that loves it at that level. I've never really thought about my style of coaching. You hear the saying that you know, you got to be your own guy, and you try to do that. Like I said, you know, I've probably only ever been in maybe 4 or 5 coaches' practices other than my own and my dad's, and so a lot of the things that I've learned, you know, a majority of those things came from him. Throughout my life, I've been fortunate to be around good people, and I've tried to learn and take a little bit of those things because, you know, as coaches, we're not inventing anything. We if it's successful, we're going to try to steal it from each other. So I've tried to look at that and take a little bit of what I get. Like I said, you know, Coach Adair and I grew up together, and you know, he's that way, and we can bounce things off each other, and he's super successful in what he does. And so, you know, when we're having problems, we can bounce things back and forth. And like I said, he's been helpful. It's been good to be back at Ingomar and watch how successful the girls program's been, because we've tried to learn some things from that and to emulate those things. How do I keep our players motivated? My dad always told me growing up that, you know, winning breeds winning, and in this community it matters, and we have a great following. And you know, I got a 5th grader and a 3rd grader and a 5-year-old today. They sit in the bleachers and they watch these kids play, and they watch them be successful, and then they say, hey, you know what, that's what I want to do. I think more than anything, I try to provide them with an opportunity to play and get better. I think community expectation is probably the greatest motivator for our kids.
You got to anticipate that. You got to anticipate that, and he needs the ball. As soon as he crosses the midpoint of the rim, it's time to he should be catching.
It's going to be a busy off season. You know, after the season was over with in March, you know, we had a little downtime there till April. When April rolled around, you know, we started to work for this season. You know, we're fortunate here. Another guy, Ingomar graduate that we grew up with. We got Coach Dura, which is he's a certified strength and conditioning guy. You know, we're probably one of a handful of schools in the state of Mississippi that's got a certified strength and conditioning coach. He does a really good job with it, and it develops physical toughness, but I think it also helps develop mental toughness. And like I said, in the month of June, this past year, we probably played 40 or 50 varsity games and several JV and junior high games. And I think the kids just understand that that's what we're going to do in June. And like I said, they're lifting, and other than dead week, they're lifting and conditioning all summer with Coach Dura. It's just a philosophy of we're going to try to work hard at it.
Braden, that's not a good shot save. It don't look like your normal shot. You didn't get it above right there.
So, I've never really sat and thought about what the philosophy is. We just go out there and go to work. Like I said, it's the hard-nosed, tough love mentality.
The same thing I told Sam applies to you. Need to have the ball cross the seam.
And I'm very fortunate and I'm thankful daily that we have parents here that let me coach their kid that way, because more and more so today that's not the case. Tough love, responsibility, and accountability. Some parents don't want that, and fortunately, here still in the time I've been back at Ingomar, these parents have given me their kid. They say, make them a better basketball player, but try to make them a better man. And I guess from a philosophical standpoint, that's what we want to do. We want to be successful basketball players, but like I told 2020 team, we were at the pavilion. They just won the state championship. We got to the dressing room, and I told them, I said, don't get to be my age and this be the high point of your life, because I don't feel like I've done my job at that point. To me, successful is going to be when you are later in life and you have become a good husband and a good father and a good Christian. Then hopefully I've played a part in that.
We ready? Go.
I think this year's team, like I said, we're going to be, our attributes are, we have the exuberance of youth in a lot of cases, and then we've got the excitement too of some older kids that are not as experienced. I think those are going to bode well for us. I think they're hungry to prove themselves. I think we'll play hard, and I think we've got some pretty good shooters. Last several years we've had some really good post players and really good post play, and we still want to do that and attack the lane area. But we're probably going to be a little more jump shot shooting team this year than we have been.
Point, -2 for the red, so it's 26-6. 26-8. Go wrong, Brady. Way to fill the lane.
Challenges are the same things: the youth, the inexperience, the learning curve of going from being a guy that comes off the bench and gives you minutes to a starter. We talk about that. There's a lot of different ways you can average 10 points a game. In a 4-game stretch, you get 25 one night, 5 the next, and nothing and nothing. Well, you're probably gonna win when you get 25, and you're gonna lose the other 3. Or you can get 10 every night, and the expectation for these guys that have been guys that came off the bench, that not necessarily a load carrier, that if they had a good night, it helped us. If they didn't, it wasn't going to hurt us. wasn't that big a deal. And so now that these guys that have just had to step forward, and the quicker we can get consistent, where we got guys that can get 10 every night, the better the chance we got to be successful. We started last season coming off winning the championship in 2020. And like I said, with the guys that we had returning, we felt like we had a good chance to make a run at repeating. And then, like I said, in about August of last year, Zach Sugars tore his meniscus and he was out for a while. And so all of a sudden, when we got ready to start the 2021 season there, we were down 5 of our top 6 from the previous year. And so, we again had inexperience, and guys had to grow up and lead because Zach was the, unquestioned leader out there. And so, in a way, his injury probably helped us greatly because it forced some of those other guys to grow up quicker. And so then when we were able to get him back, on a limited role around the 1st of December, we'd come out of quarantine with the pandemic and all that went with that and the uncertainty. And we did have an experience last year, but we also had 7 seniors that had been around the program, and they had been to the state finals in 2019 and got beat. And they were there in 2020 when we won it. And so they understood how we did things. They understood what it was going to take. And so, once we got Zach back, we kind of gelled and had a good run. And got to play in the championship game again. And all you tell them is you want to have a chance in the fourth quarter. And we did that. Came up short, but we had a chance in the fourth quarter. And that's the expectation every year. And hopefully, with our youth, maybe we can grow to that point this year. Returning guys, we returned 1 starter off last year's team. Aiden Johnson, he was a sophomore last year. He's a junior. He's going to be our offensive leader. He's going to get a lot of attention from other teams' defenses. We're going to return Braden Bell and DJ Beard. That they were key guys off the bench for us last year. Good defenders, good athletes, hard-nosed guys that know how to compete. We got post guy and Kyle Robertson that we expect him to have a really good year. He came in down the stretch for us last year and did some good things in some big games. And, people were like, well, where'd he come from? Well, he was always pretty good, but when you're sitting over there behind Zach Sugars and Tyson Smithy, it's hard to get playing time. And so he'll be a senior, and I think he'll have a good year because he can play. And he's paid his dues, and he's earned the opportunity to get to do that. Got another senior in point guard, Sam Huffstatler. He's so far in the preseason kind of been like Spencer High was for us last year, a guy that's paid his dues in the program, and I tell him all the time it's not easy. It's not easy to play point guard for me, and he's accepted that role. He's hard nosed, a good defender, and we've got some new guys. Then behind that, we got a couple of 8th graders that are going to move up and hope to help us, and Joseph Petty and Braden Tillery, and then we got some 9th grade guys, Cody Bost and Jack Denton and Olin Faulkner, and I'm really excited about our 8th grade and 9th grade class. It's probably back-to-back classes as deep as I've had in 21 years, and that's the challenge. We challenge them every day and say, hey, look, you're talented. As a group, it's just going to be how hard are you going to be willing to work at it? And so far, so good, but time will tell.
Don't reach. Attaboy, Kyle. Attaboy, Kyle.
Good, eh?
My expectation, again, everybody's got excuses they can make. Our expectation is to do the work and grow, and obviously it starts with 8 division games. We want to try to win those 8 division games and win our division, and if we can do that, we're fortunate enough that we're hosting a division tournament this year here at Ingomar. So if we can put ourselves in position to get a good seed in that division tournament, try to win a division tournament and play some home games in the playoffs. You want to make the playoffs. You want to try to finish in the top 2 in your division, so you get a home game, and then you want to be peaking and playing as well as you can play starting about the second and third week in February and see where that takes us. And like I said, our expectation is that there's some awfully good teams in the North, but I think we can be there by February, and that's what we're shooting for.
It's going to be pretty easy going this way. Going this way. It's going to be harder for you righties going this way. Catch the ball. I don't care if you finish with the right hand or left hand. It doesn't matter. If you're going to turn.
My favorite sports movies would be Hoosiers and Miracle. I don't know if you know it or not, but a couple years ago, we actually, when this year's our juniors this year were in the 8th grade, we took our team up and played Tremont at the Hoosier Gym in Knightstown, Indiana. And so Hoosiers that was a great experience, obviously. But Hoosiers is one of them, and I'm a Herb Brooks fan. I'm a 1980 USA hockey team, so I like the movie Miracle. That's one that I'm going to watch pretty regular.
And so you got to block that one out. And always, if it comes from the wing, ain't going to left. Same angle there, it's coming out right there. Ball.
All right, so what makes a good high school basketball coach? Like I said, I think you need to study the game, you need to love the game. And to be honest, I think it's got to be a passion. My dad's mother and my grandmother told me, if you get a job that you love to do, you'll never have to work a day in your life. And that's been the case for me. I've been fortunate enough, and I love it. I got a good wife that supports that. I got 3 kids that allow me to spend the time and energy and effort that I need to for us to be successful, from Little League to Little Dribblers to all those things that you got to, you don't see those hours that are put into building the overall program. And I think we do have some younger coaches that probably get into that and may not understand the time requirement and what it's going to take to be successful. Game day here, like I said, it's a little bit like Hoosiers. In the movie they got the, you win on Friday night and you get the free haircut on Saturday or whatever, and it's a big deal. And like I said, that's why we're fortunate here. It's still a big deal. Like I said, on a Thursday night, we open before Halloween. We open the season up at Hawka. Visitor side that is full, and like I said, it's important. Probably the best way to just a passion for it. And I've never been at a football school. Did obviously going to school here. Never been around the high school football. Read the book Friday Night Lights. So I don't have firsthand knowledge of what that's like. But I'm going to say that we still have that kind of feeling about basketball. And for the most part, we're fortunate enough that, from a football standpoint, 11 or 12 times a year, 6 of them probably being at home, that they're really going to get up for. And we're still fortunate enough that, we get to play 32 regular season games, and we're going to have that passion and that following for all 32 of them.
The only way this is going to be any different, Sam and JoJo, when y'all go right, I want you to finish with your right hand going to the right baseline. Rest of y'all, now let's finish with the left hand. When we're going left, let's finish with the left hand. I don't care what it looks like. Let's go.
Favorite part of being a coach is to see kids that, that the game has obviously helped. And, you're not going to save all kids, and you're not going to help all kids, but there are a great number that you can have a positive impact on. I tell our players that, you're walking around here and these kids, my kids, all these kids in the hall are looking to you, and if you do it, they're going to think it's okay. So you're going to have an impact regardless. It's going to either be positive or negative. We want it to be positive. Well, coaching is in the same vein. You're going to have an impact. It's going to be one or the other. You're not going to not impact the kid. And so we're going to try to make it positive. We're going to try to make it for the better.